Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Coffee here, and today we're doing a whip and chat. Whip stands for work in progress. So get out whatever that is for you. Work along with me as I tell you some stories from the coffee house shenanigans. Now, I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Today we are working on Hang In There by Mooney Maid. We're still chugging along slowly on this kit. It's coming along nicely. I haven't had any major issues, minus the fact that I, mix my drills. Other than that, the canvas has been a joy to work on. So if you've ever ordered from Mooney Maid, where the price might be a little high, they still have some good quality kits. I'll give them that. So, again, I hope you guys had a great weekend. We had a good weekend here at the coffee house. First things first, I was a little upset Friday night because right as it always seems, right? The moment I think I have my life together and I'm like, oh, I'm on time. I got all my stuff set up for live on Friday. I was excited, got my new phone. I'm like, I'm going to stream from the new phone and see how that goes and everything else. I had everything set up, had it like literally was actually ready to start on time. Because if you ever have been to one of my live streams, you know I'm always like 5 minutes late to everything. And I don't know why. And if I schedule my lives 5 minutes later, then I'm still an extra 5 minutes late. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I got my Zocs on. I got my canvas out. I got the drills I need out for like the next couple of sections that I'm going to work on. I'm good to go. I got my life together. Finally, I got my life together. And then right as I go to go live, I go to put my phone in my phone holder, like my lazy arm here. I go to put it in there and boom, the freaking thing breaks off. And I'm like, hold up, wait, no. Now take it. I've had this same lazy arm for like 3 years, okay? The part that holds my phone broke off. And Mr. Coffee, he always comes back and gives me a kiss before I start live. And as he was giving me a kiss and I go to put the thing on there, he's like, oh God. Now he's standing over by my nook over there. There's like another desk right there in my craft room. He's standing over there. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, what the flip? We're trying to put it back on there. It's not going back on there. And he's like, oh my God, what are you going to do? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I going to do? And he's like, what are you going to do? How are you going to go live without your tripod arm? And I'm like, dude, look next to you. Now on the Nook, there are 2 more of those lazy arms. I have like 8 of these things, okay? So it's not like it was a dire thing. It just was a mildly inconvenient thing. Like, I feel like my life lately has been filled with minor inconveniences that just happen to chap my ass, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, all right. I go over and I grab my other lazy arm and I bring it over and I put my phone in it. We were able to go live. We had a great time. And so now I'm like, okay, do I buy another lazy arm or do I just let it go? I still have like 7 other ones. I have 4 that are like this one and then other ones that kind of like go on my desk. So I was like, do I let it go or do I just buy a new one? Because if I buy a new one, it might be a little bit more stabler than the other one. Because for some reason, every time I go to record or anything like that, it's like my phone and everything has Parkinson's. And I had a young lady contact me and ask me, if there's anything I can do about the shaking because it does make her a little like motion sick. And I'm like, I'm not, I'm doing my best here. I have always had a problem with my stuff shaking. But I'm doing the best that I can with what I got and I'm trying to get it to stop shaking, but I'll see what I can do. So I was able to like put a stabilizer on the phone. That was my old phone. But when I did that, the rest of the video looked blurry, and I was like, And because my table's on carpet, it will be sometimes a little shaky. Now, somebody was like, could you put wood underneath it? I was like, maybe, but it's the table itself that's rickety. It's not like, because it's on like carpet, the carpet's too soft and it's making the table wiggly. No. It's literally because the table itself is rickety. Now, when I say rickety, I don't mean like, it's falling apart or anything. It's just, for some reason, it's just rickety. Like, it shakes. I don't know why. I just work here. That's my new motto, by the way. So finally decided, okay, so like when the young lady contacted me, I immediately ordered some table like things. So they're like little things that you put underneath your table to get them to stop shaking. I think I have the box over here. They're called wobble wedges. And literally you put them under the feet of your table and it's supposed to get them to stop wiggling. So I tried that on Saturday while we were streaming. It works a little bit, but still the table itself is shaky as crap. So I'm like, sorry if the camera shakes. I'm not trying to make it shake. I don't even have to touch the table. Just walking in my craft room shakes my table. And I'm like, am I that much of a jolly green giant that just simply walking essentially rocks the earth of my table? So I was like, ah, dang it. So I think I got it for the most part. It's not as shaky, but it still shakes. And I do apologize for the minor shaking that you're seeing. So I have a piece of fur on my canvas. Yeah, literally I just pulled this canvas out and already it's got a dog fur on it. Haven't touched the dogs this morning. Well, okay, I lied, but not recently, not before I started recording. So yeah, so Friday was good. We did our, our thing over on Twitch, and we had our YouTube live. And Fridays are usually busy for me. But why does anybody else have that one friend that has like the worst timing on the planet? Like literally, I have like 2 or 3 people that seem to only contact me right as I'm getting ready to go live or I'm about to do like a recording of a video. That is when they're like, their brain is like, you know what? I bet they're not doing anything at this very moment. I'm going to message them. And part of me gets irritated because I'm like, look, I am busy. Apparently my brain thinks the whole world knows when I'm going to be recording and stuff. And I usually tell my family in the morning is not a good time to contact me. If you're going to contact me, 1:15 to the rest of the day is fine. But like in the morning, I'm usually streaming or recording. If I'm not recording, I'm streaming and vice versa. So my sister, Auntie Jasmine, has like the worst timing. So she, on Friday, she messages or she tries a video chat with me. Now I haven't talked to Auntie Jasmine since her birthday, which is in March, okay? Is that another piece of fur? What the flip? Is it raining fur in my house? Like, is there a dog hanging from the ceiling? Why is there so much fur on my canvas? I thought it was plastic at first, but no, it's like little white dog furs. Killian. Anyways, so my sister messages me, or she video chats me at like 8:45 on Friday. And I'm like, dude, what the flip? Now, my sister has a boyfriend, and when she has a boyfriend, she doesn't know anybody anymore, which is great, because that just means she's not bothering me. What's under my canvas? Oh. There's a baggie under there. But when she has a boyfriend, she doesn't know anybody anymore. Like, she completely, like, disappears. Not like, Law and Order disappears, but just disappears from, like, talking to people because she's so focused on her boyfriend, I guess. I don't know. I don't think she realizes that she can do, both. But whenever she gets a boyfriend, she tends to kind of, like, disappear, and then she'll just reappear. And we all know when she reappears, what I know some of y'all know. What happens when she reappears? That's right. That means they broke up. Now, my sister has been single and ready to mingle for quite some time. And she's kind of one of those people that I'm pretty sure she'll never have kids or a family or anything like that. Or if she does, she's going to start way later in life than everybody else. Which is nothing wrong with it. But all she's ever really wanted was to, like, settle down and get married and be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, well, it's kind of weird that you want to be a stay-at-home mom. When you don't have any kids. I'm like, I know you want kids at some point, maybe, possibly one day. And she goes back and forth on the subject of wanting kids and whatnot. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with not wanting kids, by the way. Like, if you don't want kids, then you don't want kids. Like, people can't be out here making you feel some type of way because you don't want to, have kids. Who the fuck? Like, really? Like, no. If you don't want to have kids, then don't have freaking kids. Not everybody wants kids. Hell, I didn't even want kids. But I have them, and I'm just like, I love my kids, and I will do anything for these little monsters. But when I was, like, younger, I did not want kids. I want nothing to do with kids. I was like, hell no, they're not going to bog me down with a bunch of after-school activities and crap. And now look at me. they're bogged down with my after school activity. So, like, I get the whole, like, you know, she doesn't have kids yet. She hasn't found that right person, you know, whatever. And she's like, I want to be, like, taken care of like you. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Apparently, my sister thinks that I sit here all day eating bonbons, drinking red wine, watching soap operas. And I'm like, chick, what do you think I do all day? She's like, I don't know, nothing. Wow, Jasmine, wow. I very much do stuff. I clean my house and take care of the dogs and the ferrets and pay bills and record videos and, you know, do like normal housewife stuff. Like, I'm not just sitting here chilling, like, with my feet kicked up, waiting for him to get home to clean everything. And she's just kind of like, well, I want that type of life. And I'm like, you missed the part where I said I was still working. I'm like, I just don't work outside of the house. And so I think she thinks that stay-at-home mom means I can stay home and not do anything. And I hate to tell her, especially if she wants kids. Look, listen, if you think you're staying home with a kid and not doing anything, just let you know, most of your food that you like to eat, all that extravagant sushi and all this other fried chicken stuff, most of your food will turn into finger foods. You will be having chicken nuggets, chicken fingers, anything finger and nugget wise will be your best friend. Lots of mac and cheese is involved, because I remember at one point for like maybe 6 months, the kids wanted nothing but mac and cheese, which is probably why Maggie hates it now. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think you realize how this works. I don't just sit home doing nothing. I do work. And I'm like, you should know this, seeing as how every time you call me when I'm at home during the day, I'm like, dude, I'm working. Like, I'm working. She's like, well, that type of work that you do is not really work. And I'm like, then you do it. I would like to see you record a video, okay? Record, render, upload, edit, all that fun stuff. I want to see you do it. She's like, no, that seems boring. All right, then stop telling me that what I do is not a job. Because I can say what you do is not a job, but, you know, people don't like seeing you anyways. I don't remember exactly what she does at the cardiologist's office now, but before she worked at the cardiologist's office, she was that lady that came into your room while you were like half dead and be like, can I get your insurance information? How you gonna pay for this? She was that person. And I'm like, ain't nobody had want to see you anyways. I'm over here with my finger falling off. You want me to sign documents about HIPAA and all this other stuff. So, yeah, anyways, that was a long tangent. So Friday went well. And then Saturday, oh my God, Saturday, Mr. Coffee, he has his really sweet moments. Mr. Coffee can be a dick, by the way. So don't think that just because I say nice things about my husband, that he's not a typical husband. He be doing some dumb shit sometimes. But usually, it's not common. The most irritating thing Mr. Coffee really does is when he ignores me or the kids or something when he's playing a video game. And then I have to teach him, like, you know, or I have to essentially treat him like a kid and turn the game off and be like, okay, now you can get up and pay attention to what you need to do. But for the most part, he's a sweet guy. And so Saturday, because of after, you know, with me going for partner over on Twitch and getting it, he's like, you know, you've been streaming a lot. You really need to get some sleep. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So Friday night, I actually went to bed right after live, right? I go to bed, and Mr. Coffee stayed up playing this game and fell asleep on the couch, I'm pretty sure. Well, he at some point came upstairs. I'm going to guess he came upstairs to get dressed to go take the dogs outside. When he did that, the alarm went off, and he was like, no, she needs to get some sleep. So he turns the alarm off. Now, I heard it go off at one point, but I thought it was something in my dream, so I didn't move. Plus, you know, when you sleep, who wants to get up? So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm sleeping, I wake up, and I'm like, it seems kind of late. Like, why does everything seem kind of late? I look up at the clock, and sure enough, it's freaking 11 o'clock. I was supposed to start streaming, like, or it was like 11:37. I was supposed to start streaming 37 minutes ago, and I was like, oh, snap. I get up, I rush and get a shower. It's the quickest shower I've ever taken in my entire life. I get downstairs, and I'm like, dogs, ferrets, and he's like, taken care of. I'm like, okay, so I'm running back around, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, my alarm didn't go off. I'm late for streaming. And he's like, are you streaming today? I'm like, yes. Now, I told Mr. Coffee that my schedule right now was that I wouldn't be streaming next Saturday. So next Saturday, my friend Jomio is doing a 12-hour celebration of his 1K followers. And so instead of streaming that day, I decided to take the day off because I would like to enjoy the day with my friend. And so, so I'm sitting there and I tell Mr. Coffee this. Well, he thought it was this Saturday. So he turned my alarm off because he thought I forgot to turn it off. And he's like, I figured I'd let you sleep in. And I'm like, dude, I'm late for streaming. And he's like, oh, I thought you were taking off this weekend. I'm like, that's next weekend. And he's like, oh, well, how'd you sleep? I'm like, ugh. So then I start stream. Stream went well. We had a really good idea. And if anybody would care to join us, I'm just going to put this out there because, you know, there are some people that are still kind of hesitant about Twitch and stuff. That's fine. I don't have to bug you about it as much now because I already hit partner. So, you know, whether you come over or you don't, that's fine. But, we decided yesterday, right? One, I'm finding any excuse to go out live for 12 hours. I don't know what it is about the 12-hour live streams, but I love them so much. So, we came up with this grandiose idea yesterday. Now, I don't have to go live for 12 hours, but I'm going to. Why? Because currently over on Twitch, I'm working on the kit Ravenclaw, the Crest by Diamond Art Club, right? And I was like, I wonder how much diamond painting you could get done in 12 hours. And so I've not done a live stream where I haven't had a guest up there. So, I was like, okay, how much work could I get done in 12 hours? Now, don't worry, I'm not trying to burn myself out or anything. I probably won't do any diamond painting for at least 2 days after that. But we're having a diamond painting extravaganza, a 12-hour marathon of diamond painting. And we all thought this would be a great idea because a lot of us don't do stuff on Saturdays, which is why we hang out on Twitch. So I was like, dude, how much work could you get done in 12 hours? We should try this. So what we're going to do, essentially, is have everybody start, or we're going to have everybody take a picture of when they start their canvas, right? Including me. And then we're not going to post it just yet. But we're going to stream for 12 hours. At the end of the 12 hours, we're going to have everybody post up at the same time their before picture and their after picture to see how much work they can get done in 12 hours. I was like, we are totally doing this. We're making this a thing. So it's going to be like a little event over on Twitch. So if you would like to join us, my link is always in the description box of the video. Again, you're not obligated to do so, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm like, yeah, we're totally doing this. I'm going to get some snacks. I ran out of snacks last stream. So I was like, crap, I need to go get some more snacks. So I'm going to get some more snacks and stuff for the stream. And we are going to do a 12-hour live stream of nothing but diamond painting. And I'm super excited about this. Could I do 12 hours of art? No. No, I cannot. I do need to get back to getting into my art, though. I've been crocheting a lot more over on Twitch. Because I didn't realize so many people liked seeing crocheting. And so I've been crocheting over on Twitch. And helping people to, like, figure out, like, crochet things. When I can. Because, you know, I've been crocheting for quite some time. But I'm not an expert in the least bit. And so, like, because I've been crocheting instead of drawing. And diamond painting a lot more and playing games. I haven't really had a whole lot of, like, drawing time. Which is not good for the release papers or, you know, trying to get my art, you know, better. Like, I've stopped practicing as much. So I need to get back into that game. I think I got a little burnt out because I was reproducing an image, like, every day. And that's a lot. So I think I got a little burnt out there. But I'm super excited to get started because I have a couple of ideas of things that I want to do. Like, not diamond painting, but art-wise. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so Saturday I woke up a little bit late for my live stream. Got on there. It was a good live stream. My host my guest star canceled, but I was able to find another one on short notice, luckily. So that's a plus. Mr. Coffee will be joining me as a guest. He's going to come up on the stream and draw with me. I think next weekend? I think it's next weekend, because this weekend we're taking off. Next weekend, Mr. Coffee's going to join us and draw something. I'm not exactly sure what we're drawing, but he's going to draw with me, because it's been like a crowd, thing that they hear Mr. Coffee often in the background, but he doesn't like do anything on the stream with me. So everybody's been asking for him to come onto the stream, and I was like, would you mind coming up and drawing with me? And he's like, I guess. I was shocked that he said, I guess. I'm not even gonna lie. So I was like, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm not even gonna ask him questions. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. I don't care. Just the fact that he said yes, y'all, I'm excited. So Saturday went off good, and then after stream Saturday, like, I didn't stay on all day. I was only on for like 8 hours or so. We streamed, and then we raided into my good friend Bubbles, who plays Sims, and I got to sit and watch her play Sims. It was more like drunken Sims, which was kind of hilarious, because by the time we got there, she was drunk. So yeah, so that was fun. And then Sunday, I was actually pretty productive. I did talk to my friends for a little bit, and I got my laundry done, and it was really, really nice out on Sunday. And during the months that aren't cold, usually I'm pretty active. When I say active, I mean like I'm outdoors. So whenever I'm not recording a video or something like that, I'm usually outside. So now that the weather is starting to seem like it wants to change, I decided I was going to take the dog out for a walk. But before that, when I woke up that morning, I woke up to a swollen red eye, okay? Now, I don't have allergies. If I do, they're new to me. And I'm sitting there, my first thought is what? Yep, pink eye. And I'm like, please tell me I didn't do something like I wiped my ass and didn't wash my hands good enough and touch my face. Oh, God. Well, my eye is swollen. It's not swollen shut or anything. It's just puffy, I should say. It's not really swollen. It's puffy. And it's like bright red. And I'm like, what the flip, yo? And it was funny because, like, once I got up and got my shower and everything, and I got on Twitch, I went to go see one of my friends. His name is Fuego. Fuego was saying about how he woke up with the same thing. His eye was kind of puffy, but it was bright red, and he doesn't know why. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Now, we don't live in the same place, okay? Fuego lives, I think, in, like, California or some shit. So I'm like, wait a minute. So your eye is red and puffy, too? So we take pictures of our eyes and send them to each other, and it was the exact same thing. Red, puffy eye. And I'm like, what the flip is this? He's like, dude, I thought I had pink eye. I'm like, dude, I thought I had pink eye. We had no clue what it was. By the afternoon, it was gone. The puffiness was gone. The redness was gone. But it was red when we woke up. My eye wasn't even watering. It also wasn't super dry or anything. It was just puffy and red. And we couldn't figure out what the hell it was. And when I came downstairs, Maggie looks at me and she goes, Mommy touched her butt and touched her eye. And I'm like, hold up, wait, what? And she's like, Mommy's got pink eye. That's how I knew something was wrong. It's because when I went downstairs, Maggie, like, they're sitting at the breakfast table, right? Her and Orion are having breakfast. They're talking back and forth. And I just happened to look over at the table, and Maggie, like, you would have thought it was like Godzilla coming. She's like, you have pink eye. And I'm like, hold up, wait, what? And Mr. Coffee's like, what's going on? Mommy touched her butt and touched her eye. Now, when we lived in PA, right? Our neighbor was a friend of mine's. Her name, we're going to call her Chelsea. Now, Chelsea had this bad habit of giving my children, like, life lessons. And one of them was, don't touch your butt and touch your eye, because that's how you get pink eye. And she had, like, a whole little melody that she would sing with it as she was telling this to my children. And so my children have known from a very young age that you don't touch your butt and then touch your eye. So Maggie decides to use that life lesson that she learned from Chelsea to let me know that I had pink eye. And I had touched my butt and touched my eye. And I'm like, chick, the way I will bite your face. What is wrong with you? Meanwhile, Orion's looking at me again like I'm Godzilla. He's like, oh no, don't touch me. Get away from me. I'm like, are you serious right now? Really? Yo. I can't with people. I can't. Especially these kids. I can't do it. And so later that afternoon, after like the puffiness and everything went away, I got some like Visine put in it. Seemed fine. I decided I'm gonna go for a walk. I was frustrated about something and I couldn't remember what it is. But I was frustrated about something on Sunday afternoon. And, Mr. Coffee had been gone for a few hours because he got called into work. So I was a little frustrated because we had plans to do things. Not like out of the house or anything, but we had plans of stuff that I wanted him to get done around the house, and he got out of it because he ended up having to go to work. Did he actually have to go to work? Yes, he actually had to go to work. I thought the same thing. Maybe he tried to tell me he had to go to work just to get out of it. No. He actually had to go to work. Sorry, these drills over here are like acting crazy right now. Either I'm not drilling correctly or these drills are not wanting to stay in this glue. Well, there was one upside down. Sorry, you probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm a little further down. So, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else coming up on my arm. So yeah, I decided, one of my favorite things to do is either go jogging or go walking a long distance with the dogs. One, because they're big dogs. And like me, I don't know about anybody else, but do you pack on weight in the wintertime and then lose it all in the summer? My weight will fluctuate, but it just depends on the season. If it's colder outside, obviously I'm going to gain more weight because I'm a little less active. What do you want me to do? Walk around the house? I do that already. So, but because I've spent so much time like sitting back here in this chair and streaming and stuff, I have even more downtime where I'm just sitting. I'm like, at this point, my ass is going to be like a pancake for as much as I sit. So I was like, it's getting nicer outside and I need to go walk the dogs. So I was like, I figured, I'd take them into the dog park, let them go to the bathroom because Killian is a free range pooper. He will not poop on a leash. I'm pretty sure somebody else has a dog like this. If you do, please let us know down in the comments because the way people be looking at me when I tell them that my dog won't shit on a leash. Like, if he will pee, he will not poop. So I have to take him into the dog park for him to poop. And so as I go to go outside, that lady from last year comes back. Now, I don't know if you remember the lady from last year, the one that told me that I shouldn't have my aggressive dogs in the dog park because the dog park is for everyone. And I'm like, they're not aggressive, but if something happens to your dog, you're going to claim that my dogs are aggressive because they didn't like your dogs. Just like humans, dogs can just generally not like people or their animals. So, like, just because a cat will attack a mouse doesn't make the cat aggressive. It just makes the cat instinctual to attack the mouse. And that lady gave me all kinds of shit last year. And so, she seems to come out like right before us or right after us because she's in there forever. Like, she was in the dog park Sunday for 2 hours and I'm sitting here waiting for the dog park and she's in there so long that I said, fuck it, I'm just going to go walk. And we did. We walked about 2 miles. And of course, Killian did not go to the bathroom. As I was leaving the house, though, I noticed another guy go in there, and he had 2 German Shepherds and a smaller dog. And the German Shepherd had gotten kind of, like, aggressive with her dog. And she's like, I knew German Shepherds were aggressive, but, why would they attack my little dog? And I'm like, one, German Shepherds are not aggressive. Not if you take care of them properly. Daisy wouldn't hurt a fly. But, if your dog is nipping, which it was nipping at the German Shepherd's ankles, the German Shepherd will, like, punt your dog. Because your dog is about as big as my pinky. So the German Shepherd will punt your dog if your dog decides to start chewing at its ankles. Which I don't know why little dogs always go for bigger dogs' ankles. I'm guessing that's because the only place that they can reach. But her dog had went and, like, tried to nip at the German Shepherd's ankle. And the German Shepherd kind of, like, donkey kicked it across the dog park. And the lady's, like, freaking out. And I'm like, huh. Karma. And I just went on with my walk. And then along with my walk, I wanted to make sure I could find Maggie because Maggie has been spending her days outside playing with her new friends. The new friends don't typically play with the older friends, so that's a plus. she's been having a lot of fun spending her days outside. Her one friend, she just found out that her one friend literally lives back here behind our house. They're literally like 2 houses down from behind our house. And so she was super excited when she found this out yesterday, because she's like, it's my friend from my class. She lives right behind us. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a great motherfucking summer. Like, oh my gosh, she found a friend to play with. We looked into day camps, but they were a little bit expensive. And with us trying to go on this trip and everything else, like, I'm going to have to do some fundraising before the trip, just because we had an unexpected expense, i.e. an extra car payment we had to make. If you remember, I told you guys that they tried claiming that they never processed my Jeep payment in March. So then they made us pay a double payment in April, which really ate out of our savings, because we're, you know, trying to save up for this trip. So I'm like, well, god dang it. So I'm sitting there and we make the 2 payments, and I'm like, I don't think we're gonna be able to afford a day camp for the kids this year, because like it's hella expensive. Plus we don't get back until like after like the first or second one starts. And I'm like, oh god. Yeah, I think it's the second one, because my kids get out of school on the 25th of May. So they have like what? Exactly 1 month. 4 weeks left of school, because today is the 25th. And then for those folks wondering why they get out so early, it's because we don't have snow days here. So we don't have days where the school is shut down for one reason or another. They typically do teacher in-service days on regular days, and they have meetings on those days with the parents. So they don't have snow days or anything like that keeps them from having to make up days and go later. So my kids get out of school on the 25th. And if you have kids, when do your kids get out of school? Because I know like Minna gets out of school on the 5th of June. Which is why we're trying to make sure that we're there in PA on the 3rd. We have to get the carriers for the ferrets. We were going to put part of their cage in there, but I was like, I don't feel like that's enough space for them. And I want to get a big enough kennel that they both can fit in, because I know they like to be together. Ferrets are very, like, they essentially imprint on, like, other ferrets, and it helps them from getting depressed and lonely. Still got the dry cough. Excuse me. So we want to get a big enough kennel for the ferrets to fit in, and we got to get, like, we don't have suitcases because we don't typically go anywhere, but I have a couple of duffel bags for like my clothes, the kids' clothes, and Mr. Coffee's clothes. So we have to have the duffel bags in the back seat and everything else, and we have to get the leashes for the ferrets, because Anna is a smaller ferret, or Anna. Anna is a smaller ferret, so where Gumball has a leash and his fits, Anais' leash does not fit her as well. So I need to find like an extra small ferret leash. And we have a Tractor Supply around here, but they don't sell anything that tiny. So I'm like, god dang it. Just because when we're traveling, when we stop, we want them to be able to get out and like be able to walk them. Right now, they have, like, their little carrying case with the window in it, but they've gotten too big for it. That was when they were still, like, little babies. So I need to get another carrier for them and leashes, and we're boarding the dogs. I can't board them where I used to, because the lady never responded back to any of my messages. I'm going to guess that she is no longer in business. So the only other place I can think of that does it besides the vet's office is, and I don't want to do it at the vet's office, because I feel like at the vet's office, they would literally sit in a cage for the entire day, minus whenever they would go outside to go to the bathroom on a leash. And I'm like sitting there thinking to myself, you're going to find out real quick that Killian will not poop on a leash. So I don't want to board them at the vet's office. So I'm hoping that the groomer that is here in town still does dog boarding. And I'm going to see if I can get prices from her today so that I can, you know, get that set up. And I'm putting the money away for that as well. Going on this trip is going to be hella expensive, but it's a trip that's very much needed. I need to see my daughter. And Mr. Coffee was like, you know, we might not have money to do this, that, and the third. I'm like, look, I'm going to be selling kits before I leave. Now, those kits will be sold the week before I leave, so maybe the 3rd week of June. Just so I have the money on hand and I'm not having to like hold it in my account for, you know, whatever. So yeah, I don't know an exact date, but I know it's going to be like the 3rd week of June is when I'm going to do the big D stash of a few kits and try to get money up so that we can go see Minna. It's mostly going to be for gas and food because, of course, with us staying in a hotel room, where my friend is going to be like making dinners for us a couple of nights while we're there. I can't depend on them to feed us the entire time we're there. So I'm just like, okay, bet. But she's going to make my favorite. She makes this like really good Italian salad of some sort. I don't remember what it is. It's like I don't know. It's like a pasta salad. Yeah, it's like a pasta salad, but it has like a weird dressing with it, and the dressing is amazing. It makes the salad. It's so good. But she's going to make that for me because that used to be one of my favorite things that she would make. And I'm going to try to get I'm going to try to get a hold of my friend Chelsea to see if her and her family want to do like a cookout one day because we haven't seen them in 5 years. So, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be really weird going back and seeing my old friends because, like, you know how it is when you move from a place and you're like, that place was a shit place to live and blah, blah, blah. And then you go back after you haven't been there in a while and you're doing a little bit better. And now you're like, look at me. I got out of here. I survived. It's kind of one of those things because everybody always talks about getting out of that town, but most people don't end up getting out of the town. And I'm like, we got out. We got out. I have talked to Minna. Minna's doing well. She went to prom. I wanted to cry, but I was streaming. Minna is going to be graduating next year, so this trip will happen again next year. Except for I think next year we're going to fly out. I don't mind driving, but I'm so paranoid about driving and all the stuff that can go wrong that I don't really want to be stuck in a car for that long. I'm not even really excited about the drive there, except for the fact that the reason why we're driving there this time is because we're going to be dropping the ferrets off with Mr. Coffee's mom, and she's going to keep hold of them. Yes, she's the same mom that has all the cats, but she has a spare bedroom that the ferrets will be able to like roam around in and stuff, so she should be good. And her cats don't go into this particular room upstairs, so she should be all right. She just has to make sure she blocks the door off so they don't get from underneath the door and roam around her house. And she's excited because she's always wanted ferrets, I guess, but she's never really had the money or the means to get ferrets, so she's always gotten cats, even though she's allergic. I think that's where Orion's cat allergy comes from. She's allergic, and Orion's like, she's his hero because she's allergic to cats, but she also has 15 cats, and I'm like, God damn. So she is the quintessential cat lady. But yeah, so we're excited about the trip. Minna went to prom. She looked absolutely gorgeous, and I mentioned something to her because she was talking about how she was bored the one day and none of her friends want to hang out because they all have boyfriends, and she goes, that's just going to end up being a bunch of people getting pregnant after prom. And I'm like, what the hell? What have you been watching? And she's like, I ain't trying to be out here making no prom night dumpster baby. I want to go to college. And I was like, oh God, what? Why is that where your brain goes? What the hell? So Minna's doing good. She's excited for the school year to end because she's over it. Because she's 16. And I've kind of hinted towards the fact that we were going to be coming to visit at some point. Now she doesn't know when. Oh, that's not the right symbol. I did. I didn't tell her when. I just hinted at the fact that we might come to visit. And I don't think she watches the videos often enough for when I mention it for her to be like, oh, mommy's coming to visit today. So yeah. But she was like, yeah, you said about possibly coming to visit. I'm like, yeah. Now, it's one of those things where she thinks that I said it and I'm not going to do it. We gonna surprise you, yo. Now, during that week, June 1st through the 10th, I will not be streaming. I will not be recording. There will be no unboxings. There will be nothing on the channel. The channel, I don't care about the analytics. I don't care if anybody watches the channel while I'm gone. I am out of here. I'm taking a much needed break from all recording. I might do a little vlogging while we're there and on our way back, but I am not going to make it a priority. I want to take and spend that time with my family and just enjoying the ride and everything else. Look, we got that whole flower done. I get a lot done when I talk. I don't know why. It's funny, though, because if I'm sitting back here and I'm not talking, I get so distracted. But when I'm talking and I'm sitting back here, like, doing whipping chats and stuff, I get so much work done. Let's see. I did need number 5, and I thought I had it out. There it is. And I need little H. Little H. So, yeah. So, that was the weekend for the most part. This morning, I get up. And I get out to go walk the dogs and everything. And I go to take Maggie to school. And my gas light came on yesterday. And I was like, oh shit. Gas. And I didn't feel like going to get gas yesterday. Like, anybody ever play gas chicken with your vehicle? Like, are you one of those people that will wait till your gas light is blinking to get gas? Or the first sign of, you know, needing gas, do you put gas in? Because there's 3 types of people. You're either, I fill up at half a tank. I fill up when the gas light comes on, or I'm riding this thing until it's on fumes. Which one are you? I am very much I'm going to ride this, or not going to ride this. I'm going to wait till the gas light comes on, and then I'll put gas into the vehicle. Just because I like, in my brain, I'm like, it cycles out the bad gas that's been sitting in there for a while to put in some fresh gas. Like, it's like watering a flower and stuff. This is the reason why probably half my plants that I get die. So, I'm like, yeah, I'm very much I wait till the gas light comes on. So the gas light came on yesterday, and I told Mr. Coffee, hey, the gas light came on. You want to go grab some gas for me? And he's like, yeah, I'll get some when I get home, but I had a really bad night last night. So I didn't do it last night, and I was like, oh, god dang it. So I had to do it this morning after I dropped Maggie off at school. And so I'm sitting there, and I go, okay, yeah, I'm just going to run to the gas station real quick. And I get to the gas station, and I put gas in the car. I hate getting gas, by the way. Mr. Coffee was getting it for me for a while, and then he stopped doing it because I started doing it. Because I was, like, right there. And I'm like, why can't I just go get my own gas? So I just went and got my own gas. So he doesn't do it as often as he used to, just because I don't really give him the chance to, because I'm the one driving the car, so why should he have to stop what he's doing to go get me gas? So every once in a while, it wasn't even that he would stop what he was doing. He would just be the one that would have the time to go do it, because I'm usually so busy that I don't even have time, apparently, to go get gas. Let's see here. I need little H. Where's little H? Daisy knocked over my container on Saturday, so now none of my drills are in the right place. And they're all, like, all over the place. It's number 8. It's bag number 8. Sorry, that's my watch letting me know that things are happening. 8. And yes, those drills are still mixed up, by the way. If you know, you know. 13-7. Why is it you can always find the number before and the number after, but never the number you need? 29... 12, 15, 6, 3. Am I missing bag number 8? Every video. Just as soon as I think I got my life together, boom. There's always something to remind me that my sock's falling off on my shoe. There's not in there. 8. There it is. But yeah, so this morning I go drop Maggie off. Go to the gas station, get gas. Then I remember why I don't like getting gas. Do you like the smell of gas? I don't mind the smell of gas, but after like 5 minutes, it gives me a headache, and I'm like, dude, am I getting high right now? I don't like this. So I usually just sit in the car and wait for it to fill up. Plus, it was a little chillier this morning, and the wind was blowing a little bit, so I was like, I'm going to go sit in the car and wait for this to fill up. So I'll sit in the back seat. I thought I locked myself into the car, not realizing that the way that the... What is she barking at? Not realizing that the way the handle is in the back seat, because I don't typically sit in the back seat of my car, but the way the handle is, if you don't pull it out a certain way, it won't unlock the door. And I thought I had locked myself into the car, and I'm like, tell me I'm going to have to call my husband. Like, my first thought when I couldn't get out the first 3 times I pulled the handle was, tell me I'm going to have to call him to let him know that I'm stuck in the goddamn gas station. in the car because I locked myself in the car. Take it, y'all. I had my keys in my pocket, okay? I'm not the brightest crown in the box, not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I finally get out of the vehicle when I realized that I just wasn't pulling it the correct way. And I go ahead and, you know, put the pump back in the gas thing, and I come home. As soon as I come home, I get out of the car, and because we have a garage, there's a door in the garage, not the door that the guy got locked into, but there's a door that goes into the house, and there is a key card for it. So I go to pull out my key card, and my key card's missing. And I'm like, hold up, wait, where's my key card? I usually keep it in my pocket, and it wasn't in my pocket, so I start to freak out because now I'm locked out of the house. And I'm like, God dang it. So I would have been here a little bit earlier to record my video had I not locked myself out of the freaking house. And luckily for me, maintenance man was outside. He was doing something to the water lines for the sprinkler system outside. Because they do have sprinkler systems here for the outside to keep the grass nice and green. And I guess the lawn care guys are getting ready to come, which means that I don't think they're expecting us to get any more winter weather, which is great. And it's been in the 30s. Today's high is supposed to be like 60. So I'm definitely going to go for a walk whenever the kids get home from school. And I'm super excited. And I already feel better having that little bit of exercise. Just that little bit of walking with the dogs has already like made me stop feeling like such a slug. Like I feel like my body is worn down. But as I'm getting older, my body is starting to shut down. So like this morning, as I'm like outside, I don't know how many folks deal with sciatic pain nerve. And if you don't know what sciatic pain means, sciatic pain is, I didn't start getting it until I was pregnant. And then it just never went away. And it only comes on sporadically. I'll be walking and all of a sudden my whole body will fold up like a lawn chair. And I'm like, oh God, it's like a really sharp pain in your ass. And I don't know how else to describe it that make it a little more PG than it literally is just a sharp pain in your ass, and you try to walk and immediately it's just like nope. And so like I'm walking the dogs 1 minute, and then the next thing I know, I'm like a summer lawn chair. I just fold up. I was like, oh God, and I like almost fall to the ground. And then I'm like limping back home, and as soon as I open the door, Mr. Coffee's looking at me. He's like, hun, you good? I'm like, my ass hurts. He's like, I thought you went to go walk the dogs. I'm like, I did, smart ass. And he's like, why did your butt hurt then? I'm like, sciatic pain. Now, where I have sciatic pain, Mr. Coffee has like regular back pain. And I'm like, dude, this living shit and getting older is for the birds, yo. Like, my whole body just is shutting down at this point. And I'm trying to do better. Like, I'm drinking my water. I got my Circle bottle. I'm drinking my water. I have over like 200 sips in there. The sips are the little spouts for the Circle bottles. Now, why do I have over 200 of them in there? Because I forgot to turn off my subscription. And every time I would go to turn it off, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to go turn this off. I'd go to turn it off, and boom, I would fucking forget. And then they would send me out another bag of 50. Well, I finally remembered after I had like 215 like sips, and I'm like, oh my God. So we should be good on sips for a while. That will make great drinks for the trip, because I don't want to get, when we go on trips and stuff, one, my kids aren't allowed to have soda. My kids cannot have soda until they're at least 13. Like, you have to be a teenager to get soda. And even if you do, it has to be clear soda until you're 16. Why is that? I have no reasoning behind it. That's just the way my brain said it. So when me and Minna's father were together, that was our rule for her, was that she wasn't to have any soda or drinks like that until she was 13. And then as she got older, she could have more drinks. The problem is Minna is now 16, so she drinks what she wants to drink, and I don't like it. Orion's getting to that age, though, where he's able to get ready to start drinking Sprites. And I'm like, look, listen, I don't like it. I don't like it. For those wondering, because I did have someone ask me about how Orion's been doing attitude-wise. For the most part, he's doing good. Up until yesterday. Yesterday, he decided to choose violence on my mental health. And so I told him, I don't know if anybody else's kids do this. When the kids get their laundry done, like when it's done, I'll put it in a laundry basket and take it to their room, or have them take it to their room. Either way, they have clean clothes every week on Sundays. by like 4 o'clock, their laundry is done, washed, dry, folded, and put it into their room. Now, I will wash, dry, fold. I'm not putting that shit away, okay? They have to put it away. But they refuse to put it away. So, like, Maggie's laundry basket currently is laying, like, right next to her bed. So that when she gets up in the morning, she just has to dig in the basket for clothes. And Orion essentially does the same thing. So, I'm like, you guys are wearing the same 5 outfits every day. Can we change things up a bit? Can we... Oh. I'm like, can we change things up a bit? Can we make it where it's not so, like, you know, every week you're washing the same freaking laundry? And so, yesterday I noticed that he had on the same shirt that he had on Friday. And I was like, dude, why do you have the same shirt on that you had on Friday? He's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, could we try for maybe not doing that? Like, could you try to, like, you know, not be lazy and get up and actually, like, go to bed when you're supposed to, so that when you get up the next morning, you can actually put on clothes that aren't the exact same ones you had on the previous day that you went to school? And he's like, I guess. And I'm like, oh my God. So he got upset with me because I told him that he needs to stop being lazy and actually put on, like, real clothes. Like, he needs to switch up what he's wearing. So then when we got home, I'm like, okay, we got to get ready to get the ferrets out. When we go in the house, Maggie, you have kitchen duty. Orion, you have upstairs, because I know he's going upstairs anyways. So I was like, you have upstairs duty. Now, the upstairs duty means closing all 4 bedroom doors, which technically only 3 of them are usually open. It's closing all the bedroom doors. And making sure the puppy pads are down upstairs in the hallway. So in the 4 corners of the hallway upstairs, we put puppy pads down. Why? Because when the ferrets are out of the cage, they don't always necessarily make it back to the cage to go to the bathroom. So they're potty trained to go into the corners of the house and poop or pee or whatever. And so because of this, we have puppy pads down when they come out. But the puppy pads don't stay down all the time. We pick them up like when they're not out of the cage or whatever. But hold up. Where's number 3? I think it is. Is it number 3? Yeah, it's number 3. Where's my 310? Here we go with this again. Is it this one? There it is. So I tell him, you know, Maggie, you have downstairs. She's to cover the front part of where my sink is, and over by the window here, behind Mr. Coffee's chair at the table. And, you know, just she knows how to put the puppy pads down back here towards the back of the house. So Ryan has the top of the house, which means he has to put puppy pads in the 4 corners, and he has to make sure all the doors are closed. So I have him repeat to me what he has to do, and he tells me what he has to do, and I'm like, all right. So we get out of the car, and he already had an attitude, so I was like, whatever, I don't give a crap. He already had an attitude, and so, like, he gets into the house, and I go, all right, everybody get ready for the ferrets to come out. So Maggie immediately goes into the kitchen, grabs her pile of puppy pads, and puts them down. Orion goes and grabs puppy pads and puts his down, then goes to his room. Now, my bedroom and Maggie's bedroom doors were not closed. He didn't close them. And because of this, the ferrets went into my bedroom. Luckily, they didn't go to the bathroom in my bedroom. Not that we could find anyways. And I don't think they were in there that long enough to go to the bathroom, actually. But I just something told me to get up and check, because I don't think he closed the bedroom doors. And he didn't. And so when I call him out of his room, he cops attitude with me, because how dare I call him away from going to get ready to play his games. And I'm like, oh, is that what you think you're doing today? Is that what you think you're doing? All right, bet. So I took his headset and his tablet and the power cord to his computer, and I'm like, now, go play your games. And he's like, how am I supposed to play my games if you took all my stuff? Exactly. I'm like, and I would give it back to you, but because you can't seem to follow simple instructions, unfortunately, it looks like today won't be a gaming day. He cops attitude, sucks his teeth, stomps his feet, and I was like, okay, I don't think you realize who you were testing my patience, child. And mommy is not with that life, okay? Mommy is about to go straight gangsta on you if you don't cut the attitude. He's like, well, it's not fair. I'm like, you know what else is not fair? You not paying attention and doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, you being told to do something, being asked to repeat it, you being able to repeat it and not complete the action because you're too busy worried about, like, getting on your game with your friends. I'm like, so for today, we're going to have a reading day. You're going to read this book, and then you're going to write a little essay on the book about what you read, so I can make sure you actually read it. He gets mad and takes the book, goes upstairs to his room, and Maggie's like, I can read too? I'm like, yeah, sure, go read. Surprisingly, Maggie was well behaved this week, minus the fact that it took her 4 days to clean her room. But other than that, she wasn't too bad today, or this week. She's been having a lot of fun hanging out with her friends. And Orion's been, for the most part, he's been good. I don't really have a lot of behavioral issues out of Orion. But every once in a while, he'll test my gangsta, and I'm like, look, listen, I'm gonna need you to stop. And this isn't anything different than most other kids. He has attitude. It's just kind of part of life and being a teenager and hating your parents and all this. So, you know, there's that. But with that said, folks, I do have to get going because I have some other stuff I have to do. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We got quite a bit done on this kit, and we're now moving over to this section over here. And I'm going to get the giant release paper to put on there. There we go. Now, these release papers are from Crafts with Crashly, where I have partnered up with Crashly to have her use some of my designs on her release paper. So this is one of my designs. I'm pretty proud of it. So if you would like to get your own release papers with my designs on them, craftswithcrashly.com. I think it's like / caffeinated collection, but if you go into her catalog under signed artist stuff, you'll see the caffeinated collection, and that's where the collection of my artwork is. So yeah, so I'll make sure to put a link in the description box of the video. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for listening. Do keep in mind that it's hard out here in these crafty streets, so please stay safe, and always remember to be kind to others, because you never know what somebody else is going through. Be courteous because it's the right thing to do, and always stay cool. And if I don't see you on Twitch or YouTube later this week, I guess I'll just see you when I see you. Bye.